took a long stroll through Central Park, and I have not picked up the camera or filmed anything all week because I honestly have been so busy. But this is a reminder to just go outside and take a long walk after work. Sometimes I just rush home for no reason. I'm trying to just get way more steps in per day, and taking a walk home after work is one of the best ways to do it. Then you start to see things that you never would have seen otherwise. Like, am I crazy, or are these strawberries in Central Park? But it's finally the start of the weekend, and I'm just going to film what a typical weekend in New York City looks like for me. It's going to be filled with a lot of walking, hobbies, which I will dive into. So we'll see what the weekend has in store. I'm just excited to work on my hobbies, get outside, because it's been raining all week, but it's finally nice out. When I walk home from the office, I change my shoes into Nikes, so my outfit is quite the eclectic one today. Back at the apartment, and I just changed to go out to dinner. This is nothing too crazy. Oh, let me take my Apple Watch off. It is from Zara. It's very old though. And then I just have this purse from All Saints. I use this for everything. It's actually falling apart at the edges. Very simple Dolce Vita little sandals, because I don't think we're gonna go too far. But my shoe choice has not prevented me from city biking all over the city before, so wouldn't be surprised if we also end up doing that. I showed this in one of my other videos, but I literally wear this jewelry every single day. This ring is from Missouri. I like how simple it is. This one is from 14 Karat in Beverly Hills. When I was there, I also got this necklace from 14 Karat. This is from a shop in Williamsburg that I also got these earrings at. It was at a flea market. I do not remember the name of the vendor, but she was awesome and knew a lot about gold jewelry. Everyday gold pieces. I basically never take these off. I do kind of want to get a second piercing, but TBD if I'll actually do that. I also have a little bit of time before, so I'm just gonna touch up my makeup a tiny bit. I honestly don't really wear, I don't think I wear that much, but somehow I do always end up spending like $200 at Sephora. But I think it's because when I buy things at Sephora, I restock. And when I restock, it's usually in bulk. At least that's how I justify it to myself. If you'll notice in the background, we still have not gotten a bookcase to actually put our books on. So unfortunately, they have been in cardboard boxes for the past month or so. I think another reason is because I have been really into reading my books on Kindle. I'm almost done with Anna Karenina, and it is a lengthy book, which you would not know from Kindle, obviously, because they compress all of the pages, but it has taken me, I'm on year 3 of reading it, but I've been reading it very on and off. However, the way that I like to break up reading books is having one really heavy one, kind of like Anna Karenina. It's a really long book, and then interspersing that with other, what I like to call more beach read books, which are really fun, short books that you can really just tear through in a weekend or so. I just finished one called Care and Feeding by Lori Woollever, and it was amazing. If you are brand new, I am obsessed with Top Chef, and I absolutely love watching cooking shows. So my sister actually found and recommended this book. She was the assistant to Mario Batali and then Anthony Bourdain, and her life during that era is just so crazy to read about. This book is one of the most candid memoirs I have ever read. I highly recommend. Like, this author is an amazing writer. She also is super honest about how chaotic she was, which, so entertaining to read. Definitely check it out if you want a really just like thrilling beach read. So that's my beach read. And then another category of books that I like to read to also switch things up is what I like to call more educational type of nonfiction books. I just finished Why We Sleep by Michael Walker, and I will not shut up about this book. Like, I am actually obsessed with sleep now and my circadian rhythm. I have been implementing some of his recommendations for improving your sleep, including trying to cut out some of my caffeine intake. I used to drink coffee up until like 3 in the afternoon or so, which actually is so late because the half-life of caffeine is way longer than I ever realized or bothered to look into. And that book, the way that he rates is just so amazing. It's so charming. I highly recommend that one too. I am still in search of one more book. I think I'm back on my cycle of beach read because I have my hardcore like academic book, and then I just finished my beach read, and then I also just finished the Why We Sleep. So now I'm back on my beach read cycle. And then my next really big book is, I'm currently reading War and Peace by Tolstoy as well. That is probably gonna take me several years to go through too, but I'm okay with that. And then I just do a tiny little touch of this. And I feel like it actually makes such a big difference. Tiny bit of here too. Does it make a big difference? I think it does. The issue though is that this does rub off like as soon as I start eating something. But I think the color is really natural and pretty. This is Huda Beauty lip liner in muted pink. But I wanted to mention books now because I just think it's so important to have things that can truly disconnect you, not in the way that social media or like doom scrolling actually disconnects you from like reality. Like people, including myself, once I whip out my phone and I'm walking on the sidewalk, I actually have no idea where I am, which is kind of scary when you think about it. So it's really important to have things that actually can disconnect you in a very mindful way, that it doesn't have to be productive. Like a beach read is not necessarily more productive than like working, for example, but it does lift you out of the realm of day-to-day worries. And it is such a beautiful thing to be able to escape to. And reading is something that gives you a passive skill that you end up picking up more than you even realize, especially if you actually annotate the books. So that's what I do on my Kindle. I highlight things, I type notes in, and on my physical books, I still will circle quotes and write them down on my iPhone too. Because my mom always said, if you wanna be a better writer, you need to be an amazing reader. That always stuck with me. So don't underestimate how much can be gained from reading a beach read and choosing that sometimes over scrolling or watching TV. I'm not saying that has to happen every time. I'm not perfect at that either. Like, I love Top Chef. I will choose to watch Top Chef tonight. It just came out, new episode. So excited, for example. But I always make sure that I at least have access to a lot of books, whether it's physical in my apartment or Kindle. So I have my Kindle on my phone. I also have it on my iPad. I also have the Kindle on my home screen so that when I'm on the subway and the first thing I see when I open my phone is not my social media apps. I have those actually tucked away in a folder on a separate screen, but my Kindle is top of mind. That's another little trick to kind of bump that up in and nudge your behavior towards clicking on that versus clicking on something else. I try to do the same thing with my journal as well. So I always have it in a place that I can just reach for it with a pen next to it as well. But that's it for my makeup and my ramble about reading as one hobby to pick up and how you can kind of nudge that behavior more into your daily life. I am starving. I am so hungry. I just took some photos with Bluetooth on my Canon camera. I don't know how they're gonna turn out, and I feel like it's kind of random. Like when I take photos, I usually like to have something that I've done, like a journal page, but I think I'm just gonna try like taking more photos out in the wild because it's fun, and I'm not good about like posting very consistently. So maybe this is one way that it can help. But I also have a remote control for this camera on my phone, and that is one way that I do things by myself, because that is another lesson of having hobbies and finding meaning outside of work. Like you have to get comfortable doing things by yourself no matter what. I knew this would end up happening. Another stroll. Made it safely to my destination. I did not film while I was biking because it actually can be so dangerous. Like even in Central Park, there are so many random obstacles, but at dinner safely. best run by any means, but I'm so glad that I got that done and now I can get a coffee. Oh, flash. Oh my god. Okay, so the book that I read, she worked at that restaurant. It's no longer associated with Mario Batali, but that's where it all happened. This looks kind of crazy, but I really want like a summer outfit. Obviously not this combination, but something fun. We'll see what I leave with. I actually think this is so cute, even though it's really, really long. And look at the lighting.
It's putting a base coat.
You're so beautiful. Little stroll. Chinatown to pick up buns. So cool. I feel like. Oh my god, why is the flash on? Sorry. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. This is my outfit before the office. I got this necklace at Madewell and also this blue top. And then I normally don't wear a brown belt, but I thought that we would try it out today. I also attempted to make matcha today because I got one from Blank Street Coffee yesterday and it was literally almost $8 for just oat milk and matcha and I think cinnamon and vanilla. It was amazing, but I just can't believe that I paid almost $8. This is my setup. Boiled water. I got this when I was in Japan, so I used that. This vanilla powder from Whole Foods. Not the prettiest, but let's see how it turns out. Okay, honestly, this does not look amazing, but let's see. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm a matcha person. I think I just like making espresso because the taste when I make it at home always like is off. I mean, I know I'm not using the right whisk, but anyways, that is my attempt for today.